Crec que és automàtica aquesta. Lo que ara anem a mullar, no?
Sí, has de mullar-lo. Estem fora d'un llac que no sé on és.
Hello, my name is Mohammed Al-Azza, originally from Hebron, where my grandparents come from after 1948. And I was born and grown up in a refugee camp, and I still live in this camp with my family. Lajee, it is Arabic word. Lajee, it means refugee. Officially was established in 2000 by a group from Aida camp. The idea to create this culture center to give a chance for the children, the youth, families to come to the center, learning from different projects, teaching the kids and the new generation about the rights, about their home villages. If I'm talking what we're doing here, we have an environment and health unit, which is one of the huge, biggest unit at Lajee today. Through this unit, we work with more than 130 patients from Aida and Al camp, the one who are suffering from blood pressure and diabetes. As well, the environment, we started with testing the quality of the water, building some rooftop garden in some houses in the camp, which is the one who have space inside their homes, which is we help more than 40 families with that. As well, in our roof, we have like a new system, which is the hydroponic system. Because of the water shortage, we found this system, it's much better to plant with it because you're gonna recycle the same water when you plant, and which is very useful. Beside of this, like the summer camps that we have in the summer, like the children's summer camp, which is over than 200 kids participate in this summer camp for 2 weeks. They have an organized program. The international work summer camp as well, we have it every year. People come from different places in the world to learn more about what we do in Palestine and to learn more about the life of the Palestinian and hear different stories from different perspectives of Palestinians. Lajee Center, it is a culturing center. It's not related to any of the political parties. As well, there is not a regular fund, and the way how we work, we applied for different funders, and if they accepted our projects. Later on, even we worked hardly to get the playground for Aida residents, and which is after they built the wall, there is no much space left inside the camp, so we worked hardly to buy the land and to build a garden inside and a football field for the families, the youth children, whenever they want, they can come here, spending good time or playing as well. Literally, we had the kindergarten project, which is since last year we started. Through this kindergarten, we create good environment with good space for the kids, because our kids really they deserve the best as always. And we work with them in a different way from different kindergarten, which is to work more in the personality of the kids. And then the way of the education we throw, I could say, like through the games, which is usual they learn. What all we do here, all the activities, in a way to support Aida residents, to support all the refugees inside the camp, to keep going with their life, them building their futures with all of this difficult situation around the occupation or just living inside a refugee camp. So we do as much we can, and which is we know is not enough, but as usual we work and do our best to help the families, which is to keep going, standing in front of this occupation with all of the situation is going.
My name is Layla, and I'm working with a women cooperative called Women in Hebron, and we are 150 women from different villages, and we do the embroidery because the only things we can do it at home, and we can produce the stuff here in the old city of Hebron, and it's under a settlement called Abraham Avinu, and we started since 2006 until now. It was very difficult at the beginning, and it's not easy to be the only female here working. But by the time I found myself strong and I can do the business by my own self, the families, they control the women to be outside, and they have to do something when they are with their families. And this is the embroidery. It's easy to do it when you are home. And we have big center where the women, they can go and they took the material, they go home and they do the design and they give it back to the center. And this is the way how we work. I mean, if you take stuff from Women in Hebron, it's you can support other ladies instead of taking stuff from China or different countries. They can have something handmade, and they can help other people for this money, because this money, it goes to the right people, and they are looking for their right and for freedom, and it's good things to help. I mean, what we do like this. Bags, we do t-shirt like this, some clothes we do, and this is very important. The key is the symbol of the refugee, and we do it like a purse with handmade. Again, it's many things we do. Even the kufiyah, we have it from the last factory in Hebron, and we're still working to help the factory because the only factory left in Hebron. And I want to invite all the people to come to Hebron and to see how's the situation. It's very hard, but we're still breathing here. But even it's very hard to breathe because the army, they make it very hard for us, and they want us to leave. But we are fighting for the rights.
Having under the observing.
Podem
الكعكة بدي ونص باخذ منها شاكر.
Hello, my name is Melina Ansari. I'm the International Advocacy Officer at Al-Damir Prisoner Support and Human Rights Association. Al-Damir is a Palestinian non-governmental human rights organization that focuses its work on Palestinian political prisoners held both in Israeli occupation prisons and the Palestinian Authority prison. Our organization provides free legal aid to Palestinian political prisoners and advocates on an international and national level on their behalf. We also document the systematic violations that Palestinian prisoners are subjected to inside Israeli prisons, such as torture and ill-treatment in interrogation, solitary confinement, and harsh detention conditions inside prison. Recently, our organization, Ad-Damir, has been focusing on a campaign called Against Administrative Detention. Because administrative detention is a policy where Israel detains Palestinians based on secret information without providing any charges or any trial. So the Israeli military commander just issues an order that says this Palestinian may impose a future threat to the security of Israel, and hence we should detain them for an indefinite time. There's no specific duration for this detention, so it's indefinite, and this is why we say it's an arbitrary detention. Also, most recently, Ad-Damir, along with 5 other Palestinian civil society organizations, were designated by the Israeli occupation as terrorist organizations. This designation was based on the Israeli counter-terrorism law, which is a vague law under the Israeli civil law. So the Israeli occupation decided that these 6 organizations that work for the purpose of the Palestinian community to support them and support their rights are terrorist organizations, although the work that we do is based on international law, international humanitarian law, and international criminal law. This designation comes under secret information, the same allegations that the Israeli occupation uses in administrative detention. So here is the arbitrariness of this designation. We want people to stand strong with Palestinian human rights and to protect Palestinians. There is an ongoing attack against individuals, especially students and human rights defenders. So for me, as an example, working at Ad-Damir, now I'm at risk at any moment to be detained based on my work at Ad-Damir. Currently, there are 4,500 Palestinians held in Israeli occupation. 160 are Palestinian children and 32 are Palestinian women. All Palestinians are at risk of detention and arbitrary detention by the Israeli occupation, whether it is because of student council activities or organizations like Ad-Damir that work to advocate for the rights of Palestinians against the Israeli occupation and apartheid regime. At this point, now more than ever, we need the international community to stand strong with Palestinians. We need the international community to end its silence to the Israeli occupation's systematic abuses. Especially countries in Europe and the European Union need to stand up against apartheid and settler colonialism. Students have a role in this. Civil society workers have a role in this. Every individual has the capacity to put pressure on their own governments to hold Israel accountable for its various violations, whether it is to end settlement products in your own country or in your own university, or whether it is to share the voices of Palestinian prisoners like Ahmad Manasra, who was only a child when he was arrested by the Israeli occupation, and now he is 20 years old. He spent 7 years in detention in harsh conditions, and psychological pressure was put on him that now he cannot have a normal life due to the psychological ill treatment that he was subjected to. What I mean to say is Palestinians need people to lower their voices. We need the international community to say Palestine, to hold Israel accountable, and this is where your assistance comes in great contribution and in great significance. Thank you.